Intuitive Soul Alignment Coach here, and I wanted to jump on and live stream for you just to talk about my Fame and Fortune and Impact Leader live stream show that I like to do daily. And I wanted to share with you just the journey of how I was able to, take, one thing that we really desired and then go forward in a very fast trajectory in a very short period of time. So for today's topic, I wanted to explain to you all how I was able to manifest our move to Maui in less than a week. And we finally just found a home, and it's just really a miracle. So I want to share that journey. And so how you could even manifest, even when you do feel like you're running out of time and you feel very tired and blocked, and then the 3 steps of how to do so in record time. And I'm going to share behind the scenes of how it all unfolded. So if you're just listening in, just say hello, just so I know that you're there. And I want to really share with you guys a new perspective. So hi Shantia, hi Gabriel, long time no see. Hi Sarva, Camellia. So I wanted to share this because it's very big news, number 1. And number 2 is just that, when you really are in soul alignment and when you really, really take charge of your life and what you really, really want to create, just really miracles can happen. So as many of you know, I've been talking about moving to Maui and, going on into a new expanded version of myself. And a lot of big things have just transpired in just a very, very short period of time. So if you have been following me actually since, let's see, it was September, the beginning of September, literally from September 3rd and on, I got super sick, and there was just so much things just happening inside and outside of me, and I was going through my initiation of being connected to off. I'm sorry if it's cutting off. I don't know why it's just retrograde right now, so hopefully I can get through the whole live stream. Hi Vanessa. So just really, it's not having it's only been less than 2 weeks since we, I had all of this stuff all going on that we had to choose very, very quickly, what we wanted to do and where to go. And so actually from, I think it was last week, Saturday, on September 10th or September 9th, was when we got a letter from, Lord, saying that we need to sign a new lease, and we need to decide we'll stay here for another year, and they increased their rent. And so it was just it just didn't feel in alignment with us anymore, and we really wanted to move forward into we knew that that's what we wanted to do, was to take those big steps, these new steps. And so what came up was that every single day there was just so we had to move very quickly. So it was really only since last week where we got that letter in the mail, and that we had to choose. So I remember that moment where I felt very angry for, number 1, just because it was not really done in integrity the way that it was formed for us to have to decide. We only have less than 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get a house. And I was thinking to myself, that's crazy. You better expect them to just decide, and then if the other option was for us to leave right now, then how can we move and create that in a very short period of time. And I was thinking in my head, that's just crazy. That's just wrong. But I remember that moment when I got clarity, which was like, okay, who cares? Like, obviously, they don't care. They just want to raise the rent and they just want us to, you know, just decide something. And I was like, no, and that's not not my reality. I will not allow that to be part of my life. So when I decided and my husband decided, okay, we're just gonna go. We don't even know how the heck we're gonna do it. We're just gonna go. You would not believe the incredible stuff that has unfolded. So I just want to tell you, like, anything is possible. There is no like we think like that, like there's a certain time, like, and it's going to take me a year or it's going to take like so long, but actually the way things manifest, as long as really you are manifesting in alignment with the way that your soul is designed to do it, it's just going to happen. So we just decided, okay, so number one, that's the biggest thing, is just you got to decide. Like, if I want to create something right now, whether it's money, whether it's, you know, being famous, whether it's like creating more time freedom for yourself, whether it's like stepping into your leadership, it's like, I don't know, like helping you raise your consciousness and your psychic gifts, being more in your purpose, like anything you desire, absolutely you can create it. It's just a matter of whether you are committed to taking every single moment as a step towards what you want to do. So that's what we did, like every hour, every 2 days, I just focused on what the heck can I do right now that's going to manifest the 10 times version expanded part of myself that I wanted to be. And that was the biggest thing, was just saying, okay, well, obviously moving to Maui means part of why I want to do it is I want to create retreats. I want to help people to get into soul alignment and help humanity more. So I was aligning to my big dream. So every day, you know, I tried to align to that. So every day I just thought of things that I could possibly do that was the most expanded version of what I wanted to do when I'm there in Maui, right? So many of you have been watching me, so you kind of know what I'm talking about. So like one of the biggest things was I just got a download from Source that I need to grow my reach, you know, grow my Facebook group, grow the people that are around me, and create more soul alignment leaders. So just one day I said, okay, well, I guess like I just need to create these ambassadors, these people who are going to really help me to get to that next step. Because obviously for myself, for my soul, I could not do it alone, because my soul is meant to create a community and I'm the glue that holds people together. So I realized actually when I was trying to manifest this whole thing to go and, you know, move to Maui, I was like, I can't do all these aspects of it without having the bigger support in the community behind me. And so the only way that I could do that was I need to grow my group to at least 2.5 to 3K people who really just are about love and connection. So that's the first step, is you really want to align to your soul's gifts. So my alignment is love and connection. So that was why I said, okay, well, I'm just going to make a Facebook post and I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to just say, okay, who would love to be, you know, the 5 soul alignment ambassadors that's going to really step into their potential and, you know, wants to be of service at a bigger level, and I want them to be part of my team. And I just like put it out there. I just literally just put a post and I just made a whole spiel of what I wanted the help with, and of course the benefits and everything. And then within like an hour or two, I got like over 24 people that applied for the becoming a soul alignment ambassador. I was like, holy cow. I don't even know I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with these people. I just like, okay, let's just do it. So that was just an alignment thing that was just like, I need that, right? Because it's a bigger picture goal of what I want to foresee for my bigger vision, which is creating more aligned leaders to really step into their potential. So then, it took some time before I had, within that day, I already had four soul alignment ambassadors, and I just wanted to find one more person. And it was really hard because I was like, I don't know what is the prerequisite of what I'm going to choose this person for. And the more I just stepped into that process of like, okay, I don't know exactly what it is, but I know what that person is going to be potentially about. So like, let's just align to that. So then I found out that actually I need to switch the roles a bit. And so then I could get two more people that could actually take over. And I was like, okay, let's do that. And then within that day, I made 6K. It was just like, bam, like it just happened. So all I did actually was just think about, okay, what is the actions I need to take that will bring in the more expanded version of what I wanted to create. So I did that, right? And then 6K just came through. But obviously, of course, I put my offers out there, so that's why it came to me, right? And then another aligned action came, which was like to not only grow my Facebook group, right? So then I made another post. I said, well, I want to create a bigger community. And I got it's a download from source, like, why don't you have your family and your friends be part of your revolution? And I was like, well, so what do I do with that? And then next thing I know, just had the idea, okay, why don't I just post it? I said, do you guys want to join my free group? And I will teach you how to manifest and to get in alignment with your gifts. And, what do you think about that? And then within that hour, I swear, there's 250 people liked the post. And actually, I don't even know how many people commented. It was just like, and then within 2 days, I had over 300 people that joined my new Facebook group. And then right after that, I made another 6K, right? So it's like, it's really simple. It's just you need to get in alignment with your bigger vision and take aligned actions that make sense to your own unique soul's energy, right? Because my soul was all about love and connection. So I just connected that way. I did things in my business that was all about that energy. I did things in my life, which, I spent more time with my family to create more love and connection between my son and I, and my husband and I, and then all three of us. And we spent time in the hot ponds and just whatever I could to align to love and healing and connection. I even made people post things about things that they needed to deeply heal, and how they could be more vulnerable and more open and more expanded and step into their leadership. So it was all really about that alignment that allowed more money to flow to me, more actually time to create the content that I wanted to create for my new webinar, to my 14-day group challenge. And it was just like, okay, I got to do everything within the next 3 weeks because I need to get to Maui. So I just want to say that it's all part of your journey. Like, it doesn't make sense for your life and your business and for everything that makes sense in alignment for your bigger picture goal. Okay. So I have to just share you that background story because I have to tell you that just happened in just the past week. And then this past week, my husband and my son went to Maui for 3 days, and like, I just did it out of self-love. I said, you guys just go, and I just, take more time for myself. And they went. Then when they came back, we were not sure if we wanted that house, but then we're like, okay, it feels in alignment, so like, let's just take it. And then next thing you know, like, bam, like the house like manifested. So all the different parts of what we were doing over the past just 2 weeks, like money, everything just started flowing because it was just so aligned, right? So anyway, that's just the behind the scenes part. Okay. So this is the 3 steps that will really help you to get into what you want to align to in record time, okay? Number one is you have to be willing to take each step that just aligns to like what you desire each day, right? So align to the big goal, whatever the big goal is. If it's a move, if it's like being more connected to source, is it like finding your purpose, like whatever the big main goal that you want to create, and just make sure that the actions that you're taking every single day make sense towards that specific goal. And it honestly, it can be so random. It can be like, oh, you need to just stop doing everything and just sleep. Like, go take a nap. And you have to be willing to be like, okay, like, I'm just going to take a nap, even though, like, I have 10 million things to do. But that maybe that alignment was so good for you. And the next thing you know, you wake up and then you've got money in your bank account, right? So you have to be willing to just make sure that the actions that you're taking daily make sense towards what you're trying to create. So it has to align to the exact thing you desire. And even if it doesn't feel like it's in alignment to, like, let's say, like, for example, we just decided to do garage sales, like moving sales over the past 2 weeks. And even though, like, we didn't have big sales, we thought, well, we just take that aligned action because it just makes sense. And so we didn't have any outcome. We were just like, okay, we're just going to put our stuff out in the garage and just sit there in front of the garage, rearrange our stuff so that the move will make it easier. And as soon as we did that, we got like tons of people came. And then, you know, within a couple hours, we already had like $300 in our pocket. So you have to be willing to think about what it needs to get done to make that happen. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that very specific thing that you think it's going to look like until like maybe later. Because we could just wait. We could just say, well, we could just wait one, you know, like the week before we leave and just like, bam, like sell everything all at once. But we're like, no, like let's just do one part of it at a time. Take each part of the steps, which was, okay, we need to go look at the places. We need to like talk to the right people, and we need to like sign the what do you call it? Like give the letter of like leaving our house and all of these different things, right? You have to be willing to create according to the inspired action that you're exactly being told to do right now. And if you can do that step by step, and you just think about it, like what you can create in the next day, in the next 2 days, and then move the energy around so that it just gets you to feel more and more like in alignment. And you feel the evidence happening in front of you and everything's unfolding. It's like, oh, it makes sense. Then you know that you are manifesting towards the exact thing that you desire. And it eventually comes, but you have to be very willing to just say, like, I let go. I let go of what exactly the outcome is going to look like, how the heck the process is going to be, because that's the second thing, is you have to really let go of the how. Let go of the how and the outcome, and just focus on the exact moments of what you need to do in order that's going to be the most aligned action for you to take right now. Because we were just literally thinking like what actions need to do right now. We need to call this person. We need to like, you know, sell our car. And it was just like so random, but it would just felt so right because it just made sense. And it was me and my husband kind of doing it back and forth. It wasn't just only me, but also getting my son involved in it too. Like we said, like, you know, have him sell his toys. And even though he doesn't want to sell his toys, he was actually willing to do it because it was something that he was letting go of the outcome. You see, so everybody that is around you, that you want to create that that empowered movement and healing around your family, so that everybody's all on board. So there's nobody like blocking each other, like not doing what they need to be doing in order to help take you and your family to the next level, right? So that's the second thing, right? Let go of the how and the outcome, and just focused on the exact moments that you need to take that makes sense in that aligned action. And it's simple, small steps. Small steps. I'm telling you, like small steps. That's what it looks like every hour, every day. That's all we thought about was just what is it that we need to do, who we need to call, where do we need to get more support, what would make more sense for us to let go even more. Okay. Then number 3, just go and decide to do it. Just decide to do it and believe that it's done. And that was the biggest, that was like actually the biggest thing that moved things so fast, because I just had the absolute belief that by September 30th, we will be out of this house and we will be in Maui. And as soon as I, made not only the decision, right, and I took that aligned action, the more I took the action and the more evidence came, the more I believed that, yeah, we are moving. And even when we got swayed by like, oh, it's going to take longer because we need to fill out this application and then like see this person and they're not answering, and then like just so many things was just like seemed like it wasn't working. Then we're like, no, maybe that's not the right direction. So like, let's try something else. And so the more you just move the energy in the flow, you will find like people, places, things all create exactly what you desire in just a very, very short time. So some people definitely need very, very specific actions, right? If you're very outcome oriented, then obviously you need to stick to that outcome. Like my husband is outcome oriented, where he has to know the very specific things that he wants in order to create the steps to get there, right? But I'm very process, which I don't do that at all. I don't even care about the outcome. I have to focus on my process to getting my butt towards the outcome. You see? So we both did our own soul-aligned way of doing it. And that was why through our collective actions, it manifested within a week. And that much energy came through because it was just like, it's just like, no doubt, like it has to happen. Because number 1, like next week already, like we have to pack. So we wanted to just focus on packing the end of the last week, right? So we were like, we just got to have it happen like today and, by this date. And we had it very clear that it's going to happen, and it did. So I want you to also see like how you are going to create it, but really, really stay true to your own unique way that you manifest, right? But allow everybody who's a part of your manifestation, to see what they need to do and take part of, right? And I made it very clear to my husband that what I need to do is I need to focus on making the money. And what he needed to do was to focus on creating the actual house and, seeing the house and bringing my son with him, all the aspects of moving. And I needed to focus on launching my webinar and my group challenge, and we made it very clear that that is your role. So if you have something bigger that you want for your family and your friends and your community, whatever you're doing, just make sure that everybody's all part of the role, because it doesn't make sense if you're only doing all the work and you're manifesting it yourself, right? Which is kind of cool, but the actual full-on manifestation can happen much quicker with more people involved in the process that actually needs to be part of that process to get to the exact outcome that you want to create, right? So that was the biggest thing, was we just said by this date and we decided it's done, and it was done, right? Last thing I wanted to share is just what really actually I think shifted us was last night. We had a nice dinner, had like authentic Indian cuisine dinner. And while we're sitting there, after dinner, we sat and we had just like had some really nice drink, and we were looking at the ocean. And then I just like had this moment of realization that how beautiful, like all the different things that happened up until this point was so, divine timing. And It really was. It really was. So that last night actually was when we finally found the house, and we said, okay, well, it's not quite the most perfect thing, but it does feel what exactly we want and what we want to create. So, which is we want to create community, and we want to have the ability for our son to have more friends and more experiences with other kids, because obviously where we live doesn't have all of that capacity. So we just decided, okay, well, it's going to look like this kind of thing, right? This outcome. But in the end, we're like, well, it's really truly about just being in complete divine timing and gratitude that we are meant to do and be where we need to be right now, because that's what needs to happen. And I remember that moment because my husband was they were getting some ice cream or whatever. And I was just like, I just started crying because I felt a shift in me, like how beautiful up until that point, not even just because of all this amazing manifestations happened, but because all the things that I experienced and I learned living on this big island is coming to a close, because there's so much more potential, my potentiality, that even I cannot fathom right now. But I'm so grateful that I had all my experiences on this island and co-created it with everybody, whoever I came in contact with. And that was the moment of like, not just clarity, but like of complete bliss, where I felt, wow, that's how it works. Like, and so actually that moment was when I felt we shifted realities, and we shifted into the reality of that it's done, that we are moving to Maui. And then right after that, actually, because we're talking to the person that the landlord, whether we could go and apply. And within like an hour later of that, he was like, yep, you guys are approved. And I was like, whoa. Like, because actually he was looking for other people, but we were like number one on his list, and he was just like, okay, you guys are perfect for this place, and we want you to be here. And I was just like floored, because it was just like, wow, that's how it works, right? Like, if you really believe absolutely that and be grateful for that, the most beautiful expression of your being. This is, I think, is the highest expression that I'm talking about. It's not just being grateful. It's like your divineness, your divinity, your divineness is just like oneness with your God inside, like oneness with God that created, or source that created that very moment that you needed to create what you desire, right? So I really hope like you can have such an experience, because it was very profound for me, because I realized that that moment is not something that will necessarily come again until I have awakened my truth that far in my own self-expression. And it was actually a very short moment. It was a very big cry, but it was a short moment where I was just like, yep, I have a new reality, and I've moved to Maui, and that's it. And that was what it felt like. I was just, wow, I'm moving. So that's basically what happened behind the scenes. And so today we just been now just taking steps, which is of course getting the moving company and all that kind of like technical things that we just need to do, right? But the moment of the real manifestation really happened when we did all of those steps that I just told you, but the moment of shifting the reality really happened from within my heart. And because I have so much beautiful memories of exactly all the beautiful things that I have experienced on this island. So that moment was just like like I almost like let go of this island and of like all the things that had transpired, and now I'm like, this is my new reality. This is what I choose, and this is the new community that I will be creating. Because it's co-created, but it's also you created it. Like you create that reality. And I created that shift because, anyway, I know how to do that. But I created that shift because it was really what was in the highest divine timing for me and my family, and for the community and people. Like for you, you're watching me, obviously. The audience that's watching me make the transformation to that new highest expression of myself. I could not have done it without you, like without an audience, without expressing myself and doing my daily show and talking about these topics. I could not be in this moment without you being part of my journey. Does that make sense? So I'm so aware that all the aspects of what had to transpire was not just me. It was really God's will. It was source creating it and in flow. Yeah. Let's see what everybody says. I know I was just talking. If you guys have any questions about this, like how you can create, your own reality right now, like I'm just explaining it to you because I just want you to see the possibility of what that would really feel like. Thanks, Christine. Hi, Kate. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Hiria. Oh, Christine says, what if you're not a creator but a reinventor? How does a reinventor know what to create? It's hard for me to find inspiration. Where can I find it? Oh, it's the same thing. Reinvention is still creation. It just means that you create in a very different way, which is you create accordingly to whatever thing already exists. So you would just actually utilize all the different tools that you think of that will help you to create, like recreate into something original, right? Like I'm reinventive too. So I basically took all the different tools and all the different things to create my programs, my packages, to create a business that I love, to like, it's all like became my originality. It's just that, utilizing all the different aspects of what I wanted to create, created the inspiration. And actually the inspiration also has to come from divine timing too. So you're still creating, but it's just a different way of creating. Like creators, they just like sit alone. I don't know what they do, but they just start writing. They're very innovative. Like they have this like fresh app that comes out of their head. Like that's what it means to be more in the innovative way. But a reinventor type of person would just basically take what they've already seen or done and just kind of create a new vibration of what you want to do. Levite says, let go of the outcome, so crucial. Thanks for the reminder. Decide and believe has been the foundation of my manifestation. Yeah, that's the biggest part of the actual manifestation is the letting go part. And the letting go can be all kinds of stuff. It could be your ego. It can be your beliefs, your illusions. It can be literally like letting go of gunk, like of old stuff that doesn't serve you anymore. Like number one, I love my car. My husband still thinks it's like an old car, but I love my car. And, even though that to me is like, it's the best second car, but he's like, just post it up there and see who wants to buy it. And I'm like, I don't know, like who wants to buy this old car? But then in my sense, I have that attachment to the car. So just like, okay, well, I'm just letting it go because it's not in my highest vibration to that next level, which is true, which is what he was saying. So I just have to just like let it go without any attachment and see what happens. And so we just put it up on there on Craigslist, and let's see who takes my car. Joy says, is this called complementary co-creating? I guess it could be complementary co-creating. I think like I think there's a difference between like co-creation and creation, because either way, everybody is a creator because God made us a creator. Like we are the embodiment of God and source anyway. So it's just a matter of like how we are interacting in our creation. So that's why it's co-creation, but really essentially we are creating our own holographic image of what we want to create and what we desire anyway. So it's like in all timelines in space, like we are all creating multitudes of infinite possibility. So that's why it kind of seems like we are co-creating, but really essentially everybody is a creator. We're creating our own reality, our own expression for sure. Hi Martina. Hi Charlene. Hi Gabriella. Sarvasa says, how do you know if you are in alignment to avoid wasting so much time? For example, I used to do tarot readings and work for psychic lines and not be successful. Okay, well that's a bit different. It's like you're being of service. There's okay. There is a difference between like being of service and like doing it just because you're not doing it out of self-love. So I did that for a really long time where I just gave and gave and gave, and I've given like probably millions by now. Like whoever walked in my storefront, like I gave free 1-minute readings to 15-minute aura readings and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with being of service and what you say, kind of wasting time. What might not be good for you, that's not in alignment, is just you're not charging what you need in order to get what you need, right? Like the benefits of what you need. So if you're not getting the money just for your basic needs, now that's the problem, right? Because you're not getting the energetic exchange back in some kind of form of financial abundance. So then that is why it's not good, right? Because that part of giving means you're giving way too much, but you're not getting in return, right? And it goes the same thing for charging like hourly rates. It's better to create some kind of package or program, because the extent of energy that you create in helping someone is a lot more than an hour, right? Like for them to transform into what they need to create, whatever you're helping them with, it's a huge transformational process that does take time and energy. And so we do need to charge a really significant amount that makes sense for what we are kind of like co-creating together, right? Like what we're actually making together. So you have to like be sure of like, when you're wasting time, you're Sarva, you're just saying that you're not really receiving the amount that you need in order to sustain yourself. So then that is why it's not in alignment. It's not about like you're need to stop giving. It just means that the way that you're expressing it back, you're not getting it back in return. So that's why it's not in alignment, right? Rebecca says, I call myself an inventor. I come up with great ideas and inventions daily. Yeah, so if you're an inventor, Rebecca, like you want to also do the same thing with all the different aspects of what you want to have in your life too, right? You want to make sure that it makes sense for, having enough money, enough true abundance and community, or like, doing things out of self-love, all of the aspects that you need. Just make sure that you're utilizing that too, because as an inventor, you can tend to go on a whole different tangent and not actually focus on the things that you need right now. You end up doing like way too much other stuff and just being in your head, right? Just like light bulb moment, and then I'm going to do this and do that, and not actually create something more tangible. And I find creative types do that a lot. And there's nothing bad about that. It's just like what Sarva was saying, like, am I wasting my time? when I'm not actually getting any return, right? So anyway, so that's my spiel. If you just jumped on in, just you're gonna have to listen to the replay, maybe. Becca says, yes, I'm all over the place. Yeah, that's basically what happens for people that are inventive. They have ADD, and you just need to figure out how to create a structure for yourself. Sarva says, thank you. I have to listen again. Internet cut out. Heard second half. Yeah, I know the first half, for some reason, the internet was not working. So I'm sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to just recap. So the three major things that will help you to take the steps in a very quick time to manifest what you desire. Number one is be willing to take each step moment by moment. Like literally, like in the next hour or two, or like specifically in the next 2 days, you have to be really clear about what you're going to manifest within 2 days. And then really take those aligned steps. And by the hour, like who I need to call, what I need to do in order to make that thing happen in the next 2 days. You have to have urgency to make that actually happen really quickly, right? Second thing is let go of the how completely. Let go of exactly how it's supposed to like unfold, the process and the outcome. It's good to be aligned to the outcome, but which is the bigger vision goal. But what I'm talking about, like how the heck it's going to look like step by step, like because it really transpires. The way that universe sends us abundance is so random sometimes. But it also, if you're very outcome oriented, you do need to focus on your outcome to make sure that specific thing that you want to create, you're focused on the outcome. But if you're process, you really got to focus on your process, not care about exactly the outcome, that how is it supposed to look like. It doesn't work for you if you are very process oriented, right? Like me, I'm process oriented. I don't really know exactly the outcome until I'm like doing it. And I'm like, wow, that's exactly what I desired, but I just like didn't need to focus on it. And then the outcome happened like 10 times bigger than what I expected, right? Number 3 is just go for it and decide that it's done. And you have to give yourself like a very specific date or timeline, so then it just house. I have to get out of this house by September 30th. And I was like, I'm doing it. I got to get it done. So because I had so much urgency in it, that's why I was able to manifest the house within a week, grow my Facebook group to 300 plus more people, have actually I haven't even calculated how much money I made, but it was like each time when I manifested it was like 6K each time. So you never know until it's just taking that moment by moment, and it's going to make so much sense as long as it's in alignment and soul alignment to you. Hi Dee. All right, anyway, I'm gonna stop. I want this to really like sink in, because what I just told you, it sounds very simple, but in truth, like the way that things manifest, it does happen. It's not necessarily the way you're going to think it is, right? But make sure that it is in alignment, and I'm sure it's gonna all manifest very quick. Okay. So if you really want to know more about this stuff, about manifestation, about your soul's gifts, make sure you join my Facebook group, which is the Fame and Fortune Soul Alignment Leader Entrepreneurs. Just make sure you're in there, because I'm going to give kind of challenges and prizes, and we're getting to 999 very soon, 999 members. So I'm going to announce some new prizes, and I'm going to teach you some master classes on how to do this kind of manifestation very quickly. Manifestation, intuition, in record time. And so my next thing is the webinar. I have a webinar coming up. It's free for everyone, so make sure you jump on that, because I'm going to explain in more detail how you can actually expand your reach even more, how you can get on guest blog posts and podcast and JV partnership in a very short period of time, because that's actually what happened over the past couple months. So I'm going to share with that the 3 steps on how to really manifest that kind of things in soul alignment. And then, of course, I have my 14-day group challenge coming up, which is on September 29th. So on the 25th is my webinar. It's a free webinar. And my group challenge, the paid challenge, is actually on the 29th. So it's actually very soon. So, oh, thanks, Christine. Christine put the link at the bottom. So if you're really interested in this in more detail, come to my webinar, because that's when I share like huge nuggets of amazing information of how to do this in soul alignment. And if you feel like you need that help specifically, then jumping into my group challenge would be very, very, very helpful for you, because we're going to challenge you to take each of those steps. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in alignment to you, so that you can consistently manifest what you desire within like epic time. Because I found that you can actually manifest like what you desire even within 14 days if you learn this process. I call it soul aligned manifestation method. You can actually manifest that very quickly. Like now, like I said, I manifest like every 2 days exactly what I desire, and it happens. So I want everybody to experience that, because it is so possible as long as aligned energetically to your soul. All right, well, you guys have an amazing day. I'm going to leave it at there. And so the links are below. And so keep in touch. Make sure you subscribe at the top, because there's a blue button so you can see whenever I jump on my news feed. You can see when I do a live stream. Like, I will talk to you very soon. Aloha.